Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Traveling Gun. My name is Thomas. I began a 6-day trip. This is something that I did to myself. Originally, it was just supposed to be a 3-day to close out the month of May. But then when I got my schedule for June, they gave me 14 days off from June 2nd to the 12th and only 79 hours. So I couldn't do that. I can't survive off of 79 hours. So what I did was I just combined it to 3-day instead of doing a 3-day, go home, come back to do another 3-day. I just said, let me just find something, combine it together. That way I don't have to go home and I can just maximize my hours. Now, it's not a hard trip. Neither of the 3 days are hard trips, so that's a good thing. So that's the reason why I'm working 6 days straight. Plus, I have we're going on vacation after the 6 days. Henceforth, why I did it. So other than that, I do today is a Tulsa turn, and then I end up in Golden Triangle, Mississippi again. And for whatever reason, I don't know why I'm congested in my nose. Can't help it. It's been like that for a minute, but I'm going to try to work through it. I'm finna get ready to catch the shuttle. I'll see you guys once I get to Mississippi today about 1:30. Hello, everybody. I've made it here to Columbus, Mississippi. Not too much to see here. It's just the woods. Today was very eventful. We started off with an hour and maybe a half delay. The first officer's side, his window, something was wrong with his window. And basically they looked it up in the logbook that it had a history of the same issue. It's just that it got worse over time. So that was a real no-go. So we had to wait to get another plane. And then pretty much that put us behind all day, basically, because we kept the same plane. We didn't swap planes or anything after the delay, I should say. But we kept everything from the Tulsa turn all the way to here. So it put us behind all day. Like, I was supposed to be here. It's going on 3:38. I was supposed to be here 2 hours ago. So that's how it goes. But other than that, I'm gonna go downstairs and work out. Tomorrow is a early report. 4:55 is our van time. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of 6. Good morning, everybody. Today is day 2 of 6. Today's 4 legs, I think, 3 legs. I go from Columbus, Mississippi to Atlanta to Mobile, and then back, and then here. I think that's 4. It's 4 legs, but it's not too long of a flight. It's water flights. This is a no service flight back to Atlanta because of the mileage, and then Mobile is a service. It's a water flight. Other than that, I forgot to tell you all yesterday when I was working up front. There's a lady in the first class. She didn't want to put up her laptop. Told her twice. Now I was gonna tell her again once we got finished with the demo, because we started a demo. And when we was taxiing out, the pilot stopped really fast, and her laptop fell out of her lap and went flying into the bulkhead and cracked her screen. Now the petty me wanted to say, this is why we tell you to stow your large electronic devices before pushback. But I just kind of looked, because I saw it literally go into the bulkhead. I just kind of did, looked and just was like, in my head, I was like, see, this is why we tell you to put things up. She finally put it up. She finally put it away. But that is why we tell you to do things, not because we just don't want you to do work or whatever it is, because we know that things happen, things can break. So that's why we tell you to do things. And sometimes it is for safety reasons as well, because let's just say it flew into my shin, because that was a big laptop. Now my shin is hurting, or my shin gets swollen, or whatever like that. It's different things, the reason why we do what we do. But I'll see you. I'm finna get ready to go downstairs. I'll see you guys once I get to come back here today. Hello, everybody. Finally made it here to back to Columbus. Today's flights basically were easy, very uneventful. We were going back and forth through weather through Alabama, so captain told us to sit down the entire time. So I really did no work. It was boring, and you know, you fall asleep. You try not to fall asleep because you get sleepy just sitting down because of the weather and turbulence, you know, and everything that has happened recently in the news with turbulence. I know Singapore Airlines, something happened with theirs.
One person has been killed and several people injured on Singapore Airlines Flight 321.
The airline says the plane from London was carrying 229 passengers and crew.
The plane was met by emergency crews who immediately began assessing.
And then there was somewhere else that happened recently where I know Singapore Airlines, I think they dropped 6,000 feet or something, something of that nature. And they lost one person and a lot of injuries or whatever on their way to Thailand. So, you know, keep your seatbelts fastened. But of course, you know, people here, as soon as we got up and he told us to stay seated, they got up and wanted to go to the bathroom. But, you know, it is what it is. You can only control what you can control. I'm feeling, well, something wasted in my bag. Don't know what it is because my bag was just wet. I need to open it up to see if any of my clothes are wet before I can go work out. And if not, if it is, I have to dry them out. This hotel does not have a washer and dryer, so I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way to get them dry. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for another 4:45. Good morning, everybody. Today is day 3, which would have been my original go home day. But of course, as I told you before, I combined another trip with this one. So I do, I was supposed to do 3 legs. I do from Columbus, Mississippi to Atlanta to Wilmington, back to Atlanta. And then what I did was I took the overnight of another trip and I go to Monroe, Louisiana tonight. And then that's the end of day 3 for me originally. It's one thing I do like about this job. I have the flexibility of combining trips or swapping things. Like if I don't want to stay in a certain city because I don't like the hotel or where it's located, if it works, they'll approve it. They'll approve the overnight or they'll approve the swap, or you can just combine trips to try to get better credit hours if your trip isn't worth a lot of credit hours, because there are some credit trips in open time that are not worth anything for 4 days, and you can just kind of go in and play with it. It's tedious. It's a tedious process. But I think I'm used to it because before we had minimum day, which before we would get 4 hours, no matter how many flights we work, you got paid for whatever that day said you got paid. So if it was 2 hours, you got paid for it. So if we wanted to maximize on that credit hour, we had to go into open time, kind of add stuff to it or combine trips together to get a trip that's worth your time, basically is what we had to do when I was like in my 2nd and 3rd year. Before we got, I think my 4th year is when we got minimum day. I think is when it happened. So I'm glad we have minimum day, but again, the flexibility of changing stuff if I want to with something else is still an option. So I'm glad that we do have that. But I rested a lot. I came in, took a nap. I didn't even work out because I guess my body was just tired. I came in, took a nap, and then surprisingly, I ended up going back to sleep again last night. So my body must have been telling me to just stop and rest, and I should not be tired at all because I got enough rest. But I'll see you guys once I get to Monroe tonight. If anything changes, I'll keep you updated.